A fall does not begin when you are already lying on the floor. It begins much earlier. Sometimes it is only half a second. You are walking from the living room into the kitchen, your foot lightly catches the edge of a rug, your body leans slightly forward. One hand quickly reaches for the nearest counter, chair, or wall. In that very brief moment, your body has only two choices: either pull itself back in time or let that small trip become a real fall. If you are a senior, over 60, or already past 70, you may understand this feeling very well. You are not always weak, you are not always in pain. You can still walk around, still do housework, and still try to keep your health as good as possible. But then there are moments that make you no longer fully trust your legs. Stepping down from a doorway, turning in the kitchen, standing up from a chair and immediately walking, or walking into the bathroom at night when the light is not clear enough. This is why fall prevention is not just about being more careful, and a balance exercise is not simply standing on one leg for as long as possible to see how many seconds you can hold it. In today's video, I want to show you a very small, simple exercise for seniors, but one that may wake up a reflex many people have forgotten: the reflex of the toes gripping the floor when the body begins to lean. This is a very practical way to improve balance after 70. Not for performance, not for heavy training, but to give your body one more chance to pull you back right before a small trip becomes a serious fall.
That reflex begins in the place many people think about the least, right under your toes. When your body leans slightly forward, your toes are supposed to do one very quick thing. They gently grip the floor. Not so hard that they curl tightly, just a small, almost automatic force to tell the body, we are leaning forward, pull back. If that reflex is still sensitive, the feet will feel the floor, the ankles will adjust, the thigh and hip muscles will begin to support, and then the body brings you back to a safer position. You may not even realize that this is happening. But after many years of wearing thick cushioned shoes, wearing soft slippers indoors, sitting for long periods, and rarely letting the feet truly feel the ground, this small reflex can become slower. Not completely gone, just slower. Sometimes being half a second slower is enough to turn a small trip into something dangerous. This is why many people over 60 can still walk, still do housework, but become unsteady when they catch the edge of a rug, step down from a doorway, or turn too quickly. The problem is not always that the legs are too weak. Sometimes it is that the feet no longer talk to the body as quickly as before. When the first line of defense reacts slowly, the rest of the body is delayed as well. But the good news is that this reflex can be reminded again. No exercise machine needed, no complicated workout needed, just one small movement, done correctly and repeated safely enough.
But before you practice, you need to understand one very important thing: why standing on one leg for a long time may not necessarily protect you during real falls. Standing on one leg can be useful. It helps you know whether you can hold your body steady while standing still. But most falls do not happen when you are standing still, fully focused, with a wall already beside you. Falls usually happen when you are not prepared. You are stepping over the edge of a rug. You turn when you hear someone calling from behind. You reach for a glass on a shelf. You step down from a doorway, and the ground is lower than you expected. Or you have just stood up from a chair and immediately start walking. At that moment, the body does not need a beautiful posture. It needs a quick reaction. It needs to know when it is drifting off balance and pull itself back before it is too late. That is why balance after 70 is not only about staying still. It is about learning how to correct a small shift while the body is moving. The next exercise will begin right from that exact moment. The moment when the body leans slightly forward and the toes have to decide whether to grip the ground or not. Stand near a kitchen counter, a wall, or the back of a very sturdy chair. Do not stand in the middle of an empty room. Place your feet hip-width apart. Keep your knees relaxed, not locked stiff. Place both hands close to your support point so you can touch it immediately if needed. Now keep your torso upright. Do not bend forward at the hips. Do not stretch your neck forward. Imagine your body as a small plank, leaning only very slightly forward from the ankles. As you lean, Pay attention down to your toes. Can you feel them gently gripping the floor? Just a little is enough. Before your body has to step forward to keep from falling, let your toes pull you back to an upright standing position. That is 1 repetition. Do this 5 times very slowly. No need to lean far. No need to move quickly. No need to prove that you are still strong. This exercise is not meant to test your courage. It is only meant to remind the feet. When the body begins to drift off balance, grip back. If you feel dizzy, sharp pain, or unsafe, stop immediately. Once you understand this exercise, the next important thing is to place it into the right moments of the day, where it is truly useful. Don't turn the toe lean into one more thing you have to remember. Attach it to the things you already do every day. The first time is when you make coffee, drink water, or stand at the kitchen counter in the morning. You already have the countertop right in front of you. That is a safe place to do 5 gentle, slow, controlled leans. The second time is after standing up from a chair. Many people do not lose balance while they are sitting. They become unsteady in the first few seconds after standing up. So before walking right away, pause, lightly touch the chair or table, and do 3 small toe leans, as a way of telling the feet, reconnect with the floor first. The third time is before watching TV in the evening, or before going to bed if you are still alert and not dizzy. Stand behind a sturdy chair. Do 5 very gentle repetitions. Do not practice when you are sleepy. Do not practice on a slippery floor. Do not practice until you are tired. Only practice to remind the body to remember its protective reflex. You do not need a long workout. You only need a few small moments, repeated in the right places. Who should do a gentler version or avoid this exercise until they receive direct guidance? This is very important because a simple exercise does not mean everyone should do it the same way. If you often feel dizzy, have vertigo, or feel your head spinning when you stand up, do not practice right after getting out of bed. Sit steadily first, stand up slowly, and only practice when you are truly alert. If you have neuropathy, numb feet, or unclear sensation under the soles of your feet, do not force yourself to practice barefoot just because you heard that it is better. Wear non-slip shoes and always have a kitchen counter or wall beside you. If you have Parkinson's, MS, severe osteoporosis, or have recently fallen, this exercise should be adjusted with your doctor or physical therapist. And if you feel sharp pain in your foot, ankle, knee, hip, back, or feel as if you are about to fall, stop immediately. Stopping is not failure. It is how a wise person protects their body. After 70, the goal is not to do the hardest version. The goal is to find the version that keeps you safe today so you can continue again tomorrow. If you do the version that is right for you, progress will not come as one big miracle. It usually appears very quietly. Not that you wake up tomorrow morning and suddenly no longer fear falling. Not that after a few practice sessions you can walk as quickly as you used to. Real progress after 70 is often smaller, but more real. You may notice that when you lean slightly, your toes grip the floor more clearly. You stop yourself fast, lean slightly forward. You do not have to reach so forcefully for the wall. You stand up from a chair and know to pause for 1 beat before walking. You step down from a doorway more slowly, but more steadily. You begin to notice the edge of the rug, the slippers you wear indoors, the lighting at night, and the bathroom floor. That is not fear. That is awareness. And awareness is a very important part of fall prevention. The goal of this exercise is not to promise that you will never trip. The goal is to give your body one more chance to save you when a small trip appears. A little more sensation in the toes, a slightly faster reaction, a little more confidence when walking through your own home. Sometimes that is exactly how balance after 70 is rebuilt. Not loudly, not in a rush, but through small moments that make you feel, I can still trust my body a little more. That is why this small exercise is not just a movement for the feet. It is a way to regain a sense of safety inside your own home. After 70, many people are not truly afraid of walking. They are afraid of the unexpected moment, the edge of a rug, a pair of slightly slippery slippers, a doorway step that is lower than they thought, standing up from a chair and walking too quickly, turning in the kitchen while holding something in their hand. Those moments are small, but they can make you begin to doubt your own body. And when that doubt grows, you do not just walk more slowly, you begin to avoid more things. Avoid going outside, avoid the stairs, avoid doing housework alone, avoid things that used to feel completely normal. So the goal of today's exercise is not to promise that you will never fall. No one should promise that. The real goal is to help your body regain one small reflex. When you are slightly off balance, your feet still know how to grip back. Your toes still know how to pull you back. Your body still has one more chance before it is too late. Start very simply. Today, just stand near the kitchen counter or a sturdy chair. Do 5 very slow toe leans. No rushing, no leaning far, no proving anything. Just listen to your feet. If you have ever tripped on the edge of a rug, slipped in your slippers, lost balance when standing up, or felt afraid stepping down from a doorway, comment the word balance below. I want to know which moment worries you the most. Because after 70, maintaining independence sometimes does not begin with a big workout. It begins with teaching the feet how to grip the ground again, right in the half second when you need them most.